So, this is the miracle update for April the 24th, 2022. It's been a minute since I've updated this journal, even though I've been keeping a personal miracle journal. And it's because I've had some really profound personal things that have happened that I really want to treasure and keep close to my heart. But these miracles for today are going to be things that I love to share. And I love to share anything that I feel is going to have a profound benefit on others, or it's just going to make you think, wow, life is really wonderful. So, the first one is I really started reading the Gene Keys. I ordered the book a while back and I didn't really give it a chance. It kind of had a slow start for me. The tone of the narrator reading the book just really didn't hit me. So I kind of put it to the side and didn't look at it anymore. And then I realized like I have some really strong patterns. Like every so often it becomes pretty evident that there's some patterns going on. This doesn't have anything to do with the people around me or the situations. These are my patterns. So I noticed that one of my patterns is that I always leave a job at the 2 year mark. Like if I don't leave within a year, I always leave at 2 years. Like at 2 years, I've literally had all I can take, no matter what, and I have to go. I really can't stand being at that job longer than 2 years. And so I realized like the job really isn't doing anything to me. It's not like being, systematically tortured in some way. So this is my pattern. This is something I need to examine and really look at. And if I'm really serious about being an entrepreneur and having my products and my books and everything be my source of income, like why am I not really focused on that? So I started thinking about the gene keys. I knew maybe it had something genetically to do with patterns. I know sometimes that can be a factor. Well, let me tell you, the gene keys basically exploded this connection I have genetically to this self-defeating pattern. So one of the things the book encourages you to do, and the name of the book is The Gene Keys, Embracing Your Higher Purpose, is by Richard Rudd. Rudd or Rudd, it's R-U-D-D. But one of the things that the book said is just go randomly. Like just let it open however you want to open it. Just pop around. Just look in places that are, curious to you, and don't go in order in the book. It's not necessary to do that. As a matter of fact, you were encouraged to just pop around the book. So I thought, okay, that would be kind of interesting. So they talked about how your numbers, your own personal numbers through your chart, is going to really be an indicator of what kind of activity is going to be a pattern for you. Like they actually have documented like which genes are connected to which chemicals, and they're connected to which thought processes and which patterns and which amino acids. I mean, it is fascinating. If you're into science, it is like strawberries, ice cream, cake, all in one. It is just amazing, scientifically, philosophically, everything. And so I'm listening to it, and I decide, okay, I'm going to pick 41, because even though I don't know the time that I was born, I'm consistently seeing 1141. And so I had to kind of play around with the numbers to figure out that I was born late on the 11th of February. and I was born so late that I actually am a Scorpio rising, which is something that is I'm right on the cusp of a Libra rising. And so it became like I read the characteristics of a Libra rising, and I realized, nah, that's not me. So I played with the numbers until I got to the Scorpio rising, and it made 100% sense. So I kind of intuitively believe that 1141 is the time that I was born. That's when I made my way onto the planet, and that's right at the Scorpio rising, kind of when Scorpio rising really takes over for my particular sign and my date of birth. So I picked 41. Just intuitively, I picked 41. And it was, wow, mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. So the 41st gene key is fantasy. And it is the way that fantasy is linked to desire, and how fantasy and desire merge to either create a false start or it creates manifestation. So they talked about how people with this particular gene key are people who have strong fantasy lives, and we're caught between the past and the future. And a lot of the times we're trying to manifest, but the reason that we can't is because, lo and behold, we're caught, we're stuck. Reality doesn't match our fantasy. This is a very real issue for anyone who is affected by the energy of the 41. It's known as the energy of wanting something better and wanting to achieve greater, but for whatever reason being unable to. It's really a very powerful energy that just doesn't affect people who have the 41 in their birth chart. So I really hope that you get a chance to look at the gene key and study it for yourself, especially if you have limiting beliefs that you've had a lot of issues with removing from your life. Just because something is written into your DNA doesn't mean it can't be manipulated and changed and encouraged into something greater. And that's what the other side of the 41 is. The other side of the 41 is just manifest, just do it. Just do the hard work, the gritty work, the work that you didn't fantasize about. Nobody fantasizes about having tech issues. Nobody fantasizes about having, rejection after rejection being something that they have to go through before their product or their service or their business is really able to catch fire. But that's just a part of it. The universe wants to surprise us. The universe wants to reveal our deepest desires and fulfill our deepest desires, but it might not look how we expected it. And that's okay. The other part of the 41 energy, probably the gift, the biggest gift from the universe, is how this is the gene that's connected to enlightenment. It's connected to the spontaneous, completely uncontrollable event of enlightenment. And anyone who has ever pursued a spiritual practice that was greater than something that was, written down for you in a book thousands of years ago or hundreds of years ago, if you really pursued a spiritual practice for the sake of your own development, your own connection to the divine, enlightenment is what you are secretly hoping to be able to experience, and you get flashes of it, and that's what keeps you going. But this This level of enlightenment is the real deal, the real thing. So the expansion of the 41st gene key means that enlightenment is potentially on the other side of you connecting to your fantasy, making it real and making it practical, having a ritual that invites others and opens you to be able to experience and hear and understand what is greater than our five senses, until bam, you have enlightenment as a part of your experience in the now. It's such a beautiful book. I hope you all get a chance to check it out. I'm really going to study it very deeply because I don't want to do anything surface anymore. I really want to be a student. The next miracle is a crystal called pervicite. Anyway, it is supposed to be a super malleable, completely superior crystal material that will hold solar energy. It's going to revolutionize solar power. It's able to hold 95% of the solar power that it absorbs, which is pretty amazing. So I hope that you all get a chance to check that out. I'm going to leave the links below. There are people who are really dedicating their lives to bringing energy onto this planet that's not going to destroy anything, it's not going to be harmful, and I for one am here for it. My book is actually full of miraculous events and phenomenal inventions that are going to be a part of the future that we all can enjoy. I hope you get a chance to pick it up. It is The Eve in Us All. It is available everywhere books are sold online. And hopefully you'll be able to see the beauty and the wonder and the miracles in your own life. Here's to your miracles.